Hey guys, how you doing? Ray here again. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, it's Nitro Kyosho. What I have here is the Trex 500 Pro by Align. And I just figured I'd put out a little video here for maybe some new people into this hobby, or just for some general information. Basically it's going to be about what to have on hand for spare parts. Now every crash is going to be different. Some are going to be minor, some are going to be spectacular, some are going to be a mess. Nobody wants to crash. Generally, if you're not flying beyond your means, you won't be crashing. If you're trying to fly acrobatic and you're not really ready for it, you're probably going to crash a lot. That's why I recommend simulators. There's always a chance of a receiver going out, mechanical failure, servos locking up, glitching. But anyways, it gets expensive to keep 1,000,000 parts on hand. I've done that in the past for the Trex Pro 450 because I am a very impatient person and I hate waiting, even though I can get things very fast through AMain Hobbies with U.S. Postal shipping. And generally, if you have an accident on a Sunday, which is our flying day, you can have it fixed and ready to go by the following Sunday. But anyways, some of the main things that I think you should have on hand, probably number one in a crash is going to be your main shafts. And these come in a packet of 2, and they usually run about $10, $11. And they have new bolts and hardware and everything in there, which is pretty good. Next thing that tends to give a problem would be the main gears. Sometimes in a harsh crash could strip out on you. Alright. The auto rotation gears usually don't get damaged, but it's good to have a spare one anyways. Sometimes they will get damaged. A lot of times when these big boys go down, you'll have what's called a tail boom strike. And tail booms are cheap. These are maybe $7, $8 to have on hand. Come in a package of 2. And when the main shaft gets damaged, almost always the feathering shaft will be damaged. It's good to have a couple of these on hand. The feathering shaft, for those who might not know, is what runs through the head block housing up here and is connected to your 2 main blade grips. When the blades strike, that will usually get bent and the shaft will usually get bent too. It doesn't take a whole lot of bending to make these things shake, vibrate, and wobble. After any hard crash, it's a good idea to change to both of those. Sometimes if you have a bad tail boom strike and your blades back there, you're in the rear here, the tail blades, sometimes if they strike, that will bend your shaft back there. Torque tube rear drive gear set, good idea to have one on hand. These are good for general maintenance to have on hand. The rubber dampeners, those go on your feathering shaft, in the blade grip, in the head block housing. Okay, these will wear out. The way you can tell if those are worn out is just by taking the 2 blades straight out, and they'll start to have that little bit of slop in play if you kind of twist them slowly and carefully. Also, sometimes fly bar, okay, these will get bent sometimes. It's a good idea to change these. They're so easy to change. Why try to sit there bending one back? Just pop new one on there. These are only about $5-6 too, I think. Your main blades is definitely have a set of these on hand. Alright. These will almost always get wrecked in a big crash, or even a minor crash. They'll sometimes break. They look strong and tough, but they're just basically carbon fiber with foam inside of them. It doesn't take much to ruin them. You never know if you come down too hard, although the skids are pretty thick and pretty durable. I like to keep a set of the landing skids, which are fairly cheap too, and a set of the pipes, the landing skid pipes, because if you break those or you bend them really badly, and then you can't get off the ground, obviously, if you don't have a skid set on the machine. And last but not least, a spare canopy. The canopy's main design, guys, is just to give the helicopter a little aerodynamics, but its main purpose is to protect your expensive battery. So you don't want to be flying around without a canopy on there. I've seen guys before flying without a canopy, and I said, why aren't you flying with the canopy on there? And they said, well, I don't want to ruin my canopy. Well, I'd rather ruin a $20 canopy than a $200 battery, you know? So, anyways, I'm sure I'll get some responses to this video. This is just my opinion of my stuff I keep. You know, a lot of other things can happen in a crash, but mainly, from my experience, those are the things that you need to have on hand. Those are the definites. Okay, in a crash, you'll almost always lose your main blades, your main shaft, your feathering shaft. Sometimes with the bigger machines, because the blades are bigger, the fly bar will not get hit or damaged, but it's a good idea to have one on hand. All of this stuff is fairly cheap. The one thing I didn't mention, because I didn't pick one up yet, I haven't flown this machine, so I'm just slowly gathering spare parts over the winter time for the spring to have in my field box. But definitely front torque tubes, the gear set, okay, in there, because those, any contact usually with these blades hitting the ground, and those will strip out on you. They'll break teeth. So have a couple of them on hand. They come in a pack of 2 and a pack of 1. And other than that, I mean, unless you're starting to do some really crazy things and fly it into a cement wall, I like to fly over grass, period. You'll never catch me messing around over asphalt or concrete or in parking lots. I've seen the result of people who do that, and it's about 10 times more damage. So, you know, if you're flying mainly over a nice soft grassy field, your damage will be minimalized too. Other than that, guys, that's all I really have to say. And I hope that you got some information out of this. Just to recap, main gears, auto rotation gear, main shafts, feathering shafts, fly bars, tail booms. Okay, you've got your rear drive gear set here. I like to have these, really don't get damaged in a crash, but these are rubber dampeners that you have to maintenance and change. When the head starts getting sloppy, those go inside the head block housing. Skids in the pipe. Canopy. Main blades. And also, which I didn't have here, the front torque tube gear set. I thank you for watching, guys. I hope you get something out of this. I hope that you guys get something out of all my videos. And thank you for watching.